Hello, my name is Vince Rubino, and I'm a bankruptcy attorney practicing in northeastern Pennsylvania and the Lehigh Valley. I have assisted thousands of clients with personal bankruptcy cases and would like to answer the question I am most often asked: will I lose my house if I file for bankruptcy? It's also a question that isn't possible to answer until I receive quite a bit of information from the potential client. However, the question can be answered, and more often than not the answer is no, you will not lose your home under bankruptcy. But every situation is different, and many of those I speak with shouldn't even be considering filing for bankruptcy. So lots of questions need to be asked and answered before I can offer a response to that all-important question. Keep in mind that although the Bankruptcy Code is federal law, state law can impact what a person can protect in bankruptcy, and the comments made in this video strictly apply to the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania. First of all, it's important to note that there are two types of bankruptcy which people like you and I ordinarily file: Chapter 7 and Chapter 13. To retain a home in a personal Chapter 7 case, which is the most common form of bankruptcy filing, there are three primary rules. Number 1, be current with your mortgage payments at the time of the bankruptcy filing. Number 2, continue with your mortgage payments after the bankruptcy filing. And number 3, prove to the court that there is not too much equity in your home. In a Chapter 13 case, which is a court-monitored payment plan, the amount of equity in the home, although still important, is less of an issue, since it can be arranged to retain a home in Chapter 13 regardless of the amount of equity. And you can be behind with mortgage payments at the time of a Chapter 13 case filing, since the mortgage arrears can be cured through the Chapter 13 plan. So to retain a home in Chapter 13, the debtor simply needs to continue monthly mortgage payments and make the required payment to the court-appointed trustee under the court-approved repayment plan. I think we could all agree that if we want to keep our house, we'll need to make monthly mortgage payments. With that in mind, the key to filing a Chapter 7 case and retaining your home depends upon the amount of equity which exists. Federal law provides us with dollar amounts, called exemptions, which allow us to retain specified values of assets such as vehicle, cash, bank accounts, furniture, and other personal property, and also real estate. Pennsylvania law also provides for protections for certain classes of assets and can be particularly useful if a married couple owns valuable real estate but debts are owed primarily by only one of the spouses. The overwhelming majority of Pennsylvania bankruptcy cases, however, utilize the federal exemptions. The dollar amounts of exemptions change every 3 years, so I will not provide specific exemption amounts in this video. But your attorney can review the specific exemption dollar amounts with you, as I do with clients pretty much every day. That being said, a person filing for bankruptcy can protect up to roughly $25,000 in home equity per owner. This means that a married couple who owns the home jointly can have a total of roughly $50,000 in equity under Chapter 7 and retain the home. The home equity can only be half that amount if there is only one owner of the deed to the home. Those equity limits tend to be sufficient for most of the people I counsel, opening the door for a potential Chapter 7 filing to eliminate credit cards, medical bills, and other unsecured debts, presuming, of course, that their income is modest enough to qualify and they wouldn't be better suited for a non-bankruptcy option, such as a debt management plan with an honest credit counseling agency. Keep in mind that the trickiest part of a bankruptcy filing is protecting what you own, whether it's your house, car, or retirement funds. So if you're having difficulty keeping up with your bills and think you may need to consider filing for bankruptcy, find an experienced attorney to answer your questions. There's a reasonable chance that you will receive good news about the possibility of protecting your home in bankruptcy. That's all for today. Thank you and good luck.